So I recently watched Cuties and whoo, we have a lot to unpack here. Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Picante J back at it again with another video, and today we're gonna talk about Cuties. Now I know I'm late to the party. I saw some clips on Twitter of the movie and I was like, whoa, this is kind of rough. And then I saw a lot of commentators talking about the movie and I was like, you know what? To form my own opinion, I'm gonna have to watch this movie myself, and today I sat down, took out my phone to take notes, and I watched the movie throughout. There's just a lot. So if you're not familiar with this film, basically I'm gonna give a breakdown of what happens in the film. There's a few spoilers here and there, but honestly this isn't a movie that great that you really need to see, so I don't think like the small spoilers I have in my synopsis are gonna ruin it for you. So let's get the recap out of the way of what this movie is. The movie Cuties follows this girl named Amy as she basically joins this dance group. And what happens in the first 10 minutes of this film, they basically pin a spicy, sexy Latina stereotype in the first 10 minutes, alright? In the laundry room, it's just like, okay, y'all really gonna start out with that stereotype. After that happens, Amy basically has to deal with her mother sobbing after her mom finds out that her husband will be getting another wife, and that leads to Amy also sobbing as well. Once Amy is in school, she starts to get influenced by the other girls around her. And then after that, she's pressured into joining the dance crew. One of the girls' name, you know, the Latina I was talking about earlier, her name was Angelica, I believe. She basically shows Amy a video of these dancers, and then Amy notices, hey, Amy realizes that the dancers are doing these suggestive dances and getting a lot of likes, so that sticks in her mind. So when they're practicing their routines, their dancing is pretty innocent. But later on, Amy decides that their dance needs to have a little spice, okay? It needs to have a little something else. And she suggests that their dances need to be more suggestive. And after posting a new rendition of the dance routine on social media, Amy is drowning in likes and attention. But as different events happen in the movie, Amy basically becomes a monster. Spoiler alert, she literally attempts to kill somebody. Not even kidding. Fast forward to damn near the end of the movie. Basically, the dance crew, they finally had their one shot, you know, dance in front of the crowd at the park. And somehow, some way, Amy finds herself back in the dance crew because she was kicked out. And then they let her back in, alright, and they do the big dance. But midway through the dance, Amy realizes, whoa, this is not me. She starts crying and she runs off the stage. What a quitter. And then after that, Amy goes back to being a little kid again and doing jump rope and, you know, not dancing like a, I ain't even gonna say nothing. You understand what I'm trying to say. Alright, and yes, that is Cuties. Alright, there's more to it. And yeah, I thought the film was decent. I'd say I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Alright, the acting was great. The acting was great. Honestly, the actors and actresses in this film, they gave so much raw and genuine emotion. It like felt so natural, and I really loved that. Alright, now the cinematography, it was decent, and the plot was pretty good, but I felt like this story could have been told with less of these certain shots that I saw within this film. Now, as you know, this film has gotten some controversy simply because of the way that they've shown the girls dancing in this movie. But in the past, there have been films like Sweetback's Sweet Badass Song that has a scene with a boy and an adult woman. There's also the movie The Boys that has young boys playing around with toys. And there's also the movie Mid-90s, who has Alexa Demi, who is 29, full on making out with a 14-year-old boy. And none of these films got the same criticism as Cuties. Now, you might say, is it because they're boys? Maybe. Or it's because in those movies, they didn't feature situations like this often, like Cuties did. In fact, Cuties, I counted, had 25 shots before the big dance that were just obscene and too much. This was literally me watching the movie. Hey yo. Oh no, not today. Yeah, it was pretty tough to watch, alright, I'm not gonna lie. The problem with these shots were the close-ups and emphasis on the girls' body parts. I understand if the shot's composition was to represent a POV shot, and they actually did that for some of the shots, but for most of them, it wasn't like that. They just had the close-ups there for no reason. That's not good, bruh. Like, a lot of the shots and close-ups were just not necessary, and a lot of the scenes and situations weren't necessary either. Like, there's this one scene where the girls basically get caught in this, I don't know, like laser tag arena, and these Amy starts twerking in front of a security guard. Like, why? We did not have to have this scene in the film. It adds nothing to the narrative. Now, there's another scene that adds a little something else to the narrative, but I feel as though the film could have still worked without having this scene. And it's basically the girls dancing on stairs, doing their new routine that Amy created, all right? And they were already practicing Amy's new routine, and they were doing it again in this scene. We didn't have to see it again, but we did, and it was gross. It was grotesque, all right? I just could not. I could not, man. And also in the big dance scene, there was 13 shots that I counted that were just, that made you look away. 13 shots. It was hard to watch, and that scene didn't last long, and there was 13 of them. Now, I would never say that a film shouldn't have been made unless it's on the level of a snuff film. If you don't know what a snuff film is, Google it. And I'm sorry for telling you to Google it, but I just gotta tell you to do that because you might not know what that means. But yeah, I will never say that a movie should not have been made. What I will say is that this movie could have been made without a lot of these shots, alright? I get the message. The message is there about saying, you know, these are the dangers of a young girl who is obsessed with social media and approval at a young age. All right, I understand that, but some of these shots just don't add to that narrative. It's there for nothing, and some people are saying, no, these shots aren't there for nothing. They're for a particular crowd. No, there's JPEG files, there's GIF files, and there's some other files, okay? So those are the people that those other commentators are talking about why this movie was made. Now, I don't think that this movie was made for those particular people, but some of these shots, man, it just doesn't make sense why they're there. Like I said, I understand if there's a POV shot, like there's one character looking on at them, and then that you like do a close-up, all right? You know, it's inappropriate, but you're like showing that these people are bad and they shouldn't be looking after them in that certain way, all right? And the movies I mentioned earlier, basically all those situations are looked at as bad, all right, in the film. They're never like accepted in the film as something good. But Cuties, they just like the girls be dancing and there be close-ups. Like, keep it wide. You can keep it wide, but you just did close-ups, man. I don't understand. Like, I have so many questions for the director of photography, and yes, the camera operator. Because a lot of y'all might think, oh, the camera operator doesn't really have a say on what to do with the shots and stuff. A lot of times, they may not. I've watched a lot of videos and a lot of documentaries, and some camera operators do like have a little say of what they want to do with the camera, all right? And the camera operator was either complicit or encouraging doing these shots, all right? And the director of photography, oh my gosh, if y'all don't know what a director of photography is, there's a director, all right? And then there's the director of photography, basically like composes the shots, all right? You know, fixes the mise en scène, all right? It's like look at this shot right here, okay? Basically, the director of photography will figure out where they want the lighting to come from, any set pieces in the back, and I just got questions for them because this, bruh, 38 shots in total could have been omitted from this film and it would have worked. Yet they were in there. And the question is why? I would love to hear the answer for that, because I saw some commentators saying, oh, the movie, it wasn't that bad, and you know, they're trying to get the message across, and I kind of believed them. And then I saw other commentators saying like, oh, this movie is disgusting, and I thought they were only referring to that one dance scene. No, this movie has a few scenes that just make you turn away. And I can't get behind that, okay? So honestly, I don't recommend you watching this movie. This was an uncomfortable movie to watch. I don't think that, you know, the people who created this movie should serve time in prison or anything, but I just need these questions answered from the people who made this film. Like, why? Why were there close-ups of certain body parts from these little girls? Why were they there? It doesn't make sense to me. Alright, and I'm not showing any of those screen caps on this video because I don't want anybody to see that. It was a good message, just ruined by execution. It was just ruined with like these shots. Like I see great performances in like a 1 to 2 minute span of the characters, and then all of a sudden get some random twerking and then the close-ups. It's like, why do you want me to look away from this? Gross, man. I don't like it. I really don't like it. And I don't like people politicizing this movie, saying, oh, this is a movie created by the Hollywood left, alright? And no, stop. Why do we have to politicize everything, alright? This is it gets annoying sometimes, guys. This ain't even Hollywood, bro. This is France. This is France, alright? So yeah, attack them. Attack them. That's France over there. I don't recommend you watching this film, but if you want to see for yourself how grotesque this movie is, then yeah, you should definitely watch it, okay? To form your own opinion about this movie. I would not watch this movie again, and yeah, those are my final thoughts. Alright, hopefully you enjoyed my review. I'm trying to post a video every 2 days, every 2 to 3 days, so hopefully you just be patient with your boy, and hopefully you hit that notification bell so you can get notifications whenever I drop a new video. And as always, this has been another Picante J video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and as always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and peace. Ballin' too hard through the net, swish. I'm coming with the heat, you need protection. You'll be doomed if you enter my section. Yeah, I'm coming.